Once upon a time, right here in Central Florida, there lived a really nice guy, Bob, and his dog Buster. They were best of friends, a man and his dog. They did all sorts of things that you might do with your dog. They went on walks together, played ball together, sang songs together, and in general, they simply had a rousingly good time. But little did they know, their lives were about to change forever, because one cloudy Monday morning, while taking their usual stroll around the neighborhood, they were suddenly transformed instantly into Cowboy Bob and Buster. Bob was quite the cowboy, and Buster had become strangely human. Together, they were a great team. Now, with the help of their ever-faithful companion, Deputy Franco, Bob and Buster are here every day to entertain and bring you the best cartoons from anywhere around. That's right, kids. It's time for the Cowboy Bob and Buster Show.
Today's the day we're gonna play. We're gonna have some fun with Cowboy Bob and Buster. Deputy Franco will keep you in line, and every week you'll have a new adventure. Oh my! We'll show you things you've never seen with cartoons we all know. It's the Cowboy Bob and Buster Show.
Hey, we're glad to have you back here with us at the Pioneer Arts Settlement, the Cowboy Bob and Buster Show. We're Cowboy Bob and Buster, all excited. I'm Deputy Franco. We're here with a good friend of ours, Lester Hollenbeck. Lester, great to be with you.
Thank you.
And Lester, now, am I right that you're a man of many, many talents? You got, you're known as a blacksmith, as a horseshoer, and a wheelwright. Now, we know what a blacksmith does, right?
Right.
The blacksmith makes stuff from
all kinds of things out of iron.
Out of iron.
Right.
And things like horseshoes. So that's how you shoe horses?
Yeah.
Does that mean you go, shoo, shoo?
No. Put the shoe on his foot.
Oh, you put the shoe on his foot?
Oh, yes.
So, and then a wheelwright. Now, what is a wheelwright?
Oh, he makes the wheels. And you know what? The wheel was the greatest thing ever invented. Really?
Really?
Yeah, people don't realize that.
I thought Twinkies were the greatest thing invented.
Oh, no, wheels were.
Wheels? Okay, well, how'd you learn how to make wheels?
Well, my father taught me back in 1940.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
That's a long time ago, right?
And you learned the trade, and then you learned how to do that, you learned the job, and then what? You started your own shop?
Well, I learned all three trades, really.
Yeah?
All three trades were done in the same shop. And I used to shoe horses mostly. Even during World War II, people don't realize they had mules during World War II.
Look at that.
Yeah, and I used to shoe mules.
Geez, I didn't know that. That's great.
You didn't know that?
Well, this is the first time I've ever heard that.
Well, let me tell you something, Dan.
What?
We used to go in Burma.
Burma?
Yeah, and you know
what? Is that a rug?
No, they made rugs in Burma, but this was in...
Burma, the country.
The country,
oh, yeah.
Right. And they made a movie out of our outfit also, which is called Merrill's Marauders. You might look that up sometime.
Oh, sure. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
And so am I understanding this correctly, that Merrill's
Marauders.
Merrill's Marauders
right.
were a bunch of army guys that were... What, you did infantry?
They were the infantry that was trying to win Burma back again.
Oh, okay, so it was during the war.
Oh, yeah.
What was your job during that?
My job was to shoe mules because we had 300 head of mules that we were packing all their stuff. We had no vehicles and we had no roads, so we had to climb on the trails.
Wow.
Oh, yes, wow.
You didn't have no vehicles, no tanks,
No, not at this time, and we just had to carry everything on the mules, all the heavy guns and the ammunition and everything.
Well, we want to find out more about how you make wheels. Okay. So right after this, you like cartoons, don't you?
Oh, yes, I like cartoons.
We've got some of the best classic cartoons I've ever seen. Cartoons. We're going to watch a cartoon right now and come right back, okay? Because you're going to see Lester make a wheel. He's going to shrink a wheel. This is great. You're going to learn a whole bunch of fun stuff. We're glad to have you back here with us at Lester Hollenbeck's Blacksmith shop here. He's going to be making a wheel for us. First of all, we've got to know what tools you use to make a wheel, Lester.
Well, there's several tools. We have a pointer for a spoke. We have to have the spokes in the wheel. This is a center, and this is called a hub.
This is the hub of the wheel?
Right, that's the center of it.
Like this over here,
yeah,
right?
That's the main part of the wheel.
Okay, so you started out straightening up and down.
Right, and so we have to have a pointer to put a point on the spoke, And then we have to have a tenon cutter that cuts it round.
A tenon cutter?
A tenon cutter. And then after we get the point on there, or the end on it, we have to put fellies around there like that.
This is a felly.
Just a felly.
You know, there was a guy down the street who used to call us, "Hey, fellies, come on over
Yeah,
here."
come on over, fellas.
I thought it was always for a child, but this is it's a piece of wheel,
Yeah,
too.
it's a piece of wheel.
Oh, I'm thinking fellas.
Oh,
It's
okay.
different.
And then we have to have a traveler. After we get all the wood around there, we use a traveler and we measure around that so we can get the tire the right size.
So with this, you start here at 0,
Right?
and then it goes around, and you know how many inches.
Yeah, it tells you how many inches.
Let's see how many inches is here.
How many inches is on that? Huh?
At that point, it's
About 22, right?
all the way down here is 22 inches.
22 inches.
Well, you'd never think it.
No. Well, if you go across there and it's 7, you take 3 times that, it'd be 21.
So that's close, huh?
Right? Real close, right.
So, wow, that's great. Any other tools?
We have some tool. Well, we should talk about this old wheel.
That's a good old wheel.
Yeah.
That's funny looking.
Right. The wheels, was the greatest invention. And it looked like this one to start with, just a solid wheel.
And what year would that wheel be made?
Oh, this would go way back to BC.
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 Is that Washington, BC?
Yeah, that's Washington, BC. All right.
Oh, you're talking about BC before Christ.
Right.
Okay, way back.
Way back.
That's
Way
almost
back.
2,000 years ago.
Oh, over 2,000 years ago.
Okay.
And then, the Egyptians are the first one to ever put spokes in the wheels.
And these are spokes here.
Right, them are spokes.
My father was a spokesperson. Is that
Was
the
he?
same thing?
Oh, that's the same thing,
Yeah.
sure. They could use him for a spoke too, I'm sure.
Now, so you put the spokes, you got the centerpiece, which is what again?
The hub,
The hub, and then you got spokes.
right?
And then this thing this is
That's the fellies that you
the
talked
fellies, that's
Yeah,
right. It's like this. And then this metal piece on the outside is
Oh,
what?
that's a tire.
This is a tire?
That's a tire.
But it's
right.
metal.
Oh,
How
I
can that be
know.
a tire?
Well, you know what? Back in the BC, they used latigo. You know what latigo? You're a cowboy, and they wrapped out with latigo. They'd wet it, and the latigo would pull it tight.
Oh, I know that. They use that over. That's an Irishman.
Oh, is
Irishman
that
says,
right?
let him go down the street.
Let him go.
But-
Anyway, tires are iron, so we have to make the tire. And you know what? The tire is made a little bit too small for the wood.
This one is?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Well, how can it be made too small if it fits?
Well, then we have to heat it up,
Yeah.
and then we put it back on there, and it pulls everything tight. Oh,
Really?
yeah.
And
That was scientific,
how would you do that?
Well, we'd have to build a big fire around it and get it real hot, drop it on there and cool it off, and it pulls everything tight.
Well, you could show us this, huh?
Well, I can show you how if the tire was too big and I want to make it just a little bit smaller, I heat it up in the forge and use this machine over here to shrink it and make it just a little bit smaller.
Hey, let's see that.
Well, we can do that, yeah.
Oh, great. Thanks. Let's see that. Well, Lester, what are you doing now? There's a big fire over there. You're breaking away.
Well, you know what? The fire will not get hot if you don't have a wind under. And this is a modern blower here. This is only about 100 years old. And it has a fan back there, and when I crank the handle, the wind goes down the pipe, and it gets under the fire, and that's how the fire gets hot.
So this pipe here, it goes underneath.
But you know what? We have another thing up here, and this is called a bellows. Look up here.
Bellows.
A bellows. And you know what? Bellows, they go back like 3,000 years ago. But the wind comes down the pipe and under the fire.
So why would you want to use this and what versus this?
Well, we just try to show that this one is really old, and this one's not as old.
So this
That's all.
goes back how many years? This is 100 years old. How many years old is this?
At least 3,000. It goes back 3,000 years.
Wow.
That's BC again. See? Okay.
Okay, so you put air underneath.
Air underneath to make it hot.
Make it
and
hot.
not only that, the fire will get up to about 3,000 degrees, and if I stuck that little rod in there, it'd burn the end right off of that.
Oh, that's too hot. It's real hot from here.
Oh, yeah. I think we're probably ready to shrink the tire.
We're going to shrink this big run, this
Yeah,
metal tire.
we're gonna push it together and make it a little bit shorter.
Okay,
Let's get the coals out.
so those are coals.
Yep, there are coals.
What's the coals made out of?
Coal. That is coal. Yeah, you can turn the wheel if you like. You want to turn the wheel?
Sure.
Turn the wheel. This other way.
This way?
No, the other way. I'm sorry.
I'll go this way.
Yeah, go right on. That's
Faster?
the right way. Go, keep right on going. There you go. Now you're going to get tight.
It's getting
I
tight.
have to help you.
It's difficult.
Okay, let's go. Look at that there. See that bow together? Oh, that's enough.
It's it?
Yeah. But see there, we were pushing it right together. This big bar pushes right together.
Oh, so
And we
it's
make it shorter in there.
so you're heating up the metal, and then you're pushing the metal together, so it makes the total
Inside circumference.
circumference.
And we'd have to take the traveler and go inside and see how much we moved it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you have to mush it together, and then check the size
Right.
to make sure it's going to go around the
wood.
wood, the ferrous.
Right. And then we'd have to take and heat up the whole tire, make it get big and put it on the wheel.
Oh, this is great.
Cool it off.
And then cool it off. And when you cool it off, it shrinks and it tightens up real good around the wood. I
Let's
know that.
loosen this up.
Okay.
That way.
Well, you know what? We're gonna go.
Let's put this down in the water just for fun. Want to?
Sure. Hey, that's cooling off. You know
Oh,
what?
that's cooling off, isn't it?
And you know what? It's time to see a cool cartoon. So we're gonna watch a cool classic cartoon. Right after this, we're gonna come back and finish up all the information about the wheel with Lester. This is great, isn't it? Wow.
Start the day with a song and sing the whole day through. Even while you're busy working, you just like to play too. For the day may be long, you never will go wrong. Okie dokie, kitty okie, just start the day with a song.
My Mortimer, how prices have jumped.
Down the hatch!
folks, what about singing along with us as we play while strolling through the park? Just follow the little bouncing ball. While strolling through the park one day, in the very, very love day, while we're taking my surprise, why a pair of rocky sides, in the road with my boy, go away. And while the song she gave to me, upon the day we happy as could be. I immediately raised my hand and finally she remarked, I never shall forget the lovely afternoon. I never left the fountain in the park. It was my lucky afternoon, the weather was so fair, and there was I walking down for there, with tilted turkey cages and I felt so debonair, to make it short is how it all began. Yes, here is how it all began. The organ played a wedding tune in the merry, merry month of June. On her finger went a ring as the choir began to sing, here along with we were on our honeymoon. And then we raised the family. We never know how happy we could be. Though the future may be cold and dark, it always will be our lot. And when we're old and gray, I'll still recall the day I never left the fountain in the park. She wore a very gingham gown and new high-button shoes, and on her shoulder twirled a parasol. Her eyes invited me to join her, how could I refuse? Here's the situation as I recall, just listen and I'll tell you all. I was going through the park one day, in the very month of May. By the day I knew right by a pair of rosy sides, with a moment my poor heart was stole away. As far as the love she gave to me, la 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 la. Of course it made me happy as could be, la 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 la. I immediately made my way, and I finally walked. I never shall forget the lovely afternoon. I never left the fountain in the park. Not a guess. Oh, you kid! 23 skidoo.
Well, Lester, it seems like a wheelwright and blacksmith are very important people in the world.
Oh yes, a blacksmith was one of the most important people in any small community years ago.
Yeah.
The blacksmith could make so many different things. He had to make the things in the kitchen. He made the things for himself, his own tools, and he worked for the farmer, and he just did everything. And the coal that he burnt, which is charcoal, is made out of wood, and he made his own charcoal for the forge. So he can make all kinds of things, really.
That was important to all kinds of people throughout the town.
If the community did not have a blacksmith, they couldn't survive. And not only that, when they laid out a town, they laid out a piece of property for the blacksmith, and they would give it to him if he stayed there like 6 or 7 years, and then it was deeded to him. So it didn't cost him anything. But they realized how important a blacksmith really was.
Well, this has been a really, very interesting day. Thank you very much for sharing your world with us and all the important things about making a wheel and all the tools and blacksmithing and shoeing horses.
All right, we had to shoe horses also.
That's right. Remember, if you're shoeing a horse, use a shoe. Hey, make sure you're with us tomorrow on the Cowboy Bob and Buster Show, because we're going to be with an actor. That's right. We went ooh, 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 ooh. That's right, on the Welcome Back Carter Show. His name is Ron Perot. A real fun guy. You're going to love this, okay? So we'll see you then, okay? On behalf of Cowboy Bob and Buster, it's Deputy Franco saying bye from the Pioneer Art Settlement.